What's up, guys? Welcome to the 100K subscriber Q&A special. I don't even know what to say. Thank you so much. 100K was such a dream for me to reach. It's such a daydream. And you guys made it possible. Thank you so much for your support. I have no idea what to say, but thank you. I used to think that once we get to 100K, that would be the end of this project, because that was like a pipe dream. It was a goal that I never thought that I would reach. But now that we're here, I've grown so attached to the channel and I love you guys so much. So obviously, I think it goes without saying that I'm going to keep doing it. So thank you so much for sticking around and just being there and being so supportive. This time we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to be doing assumptions as well as questions. Somebody in the community section recommended that we do this, and I thought that it was a really cool idea. So we are going to go ahead and do that. Let's get started. Hello Daisy says, assumption. You're a vintage guy who loves earth tone colors and dresses like a British gentleman in the 1900s. You had me up into the whole 1900s things. I do mostly dress in black, white, and earth tone colors. And I feel like I need more color in my wardrobe, so I'm probably going to go out and make a conscious effort to put more color into the things I wear. I don't really dress like a 1900s gentleman. I don't even know what they would wear. Like, I don't wear a fedora. Aaliyah asks, are you a good singer? Nah, I'm definitely not a good singer. I feel like when I try to sing, I just I sound like a dying dog. Like, it just does not sound good at all. Do you like dancing? Yeah, I like dancing a lot. I feel like even though I can't sing, I probably make up for it by my dancing skills. They're not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but they're not bad. And I think it's a lot of fun. Aaliyah also asks, how do you spend your weekend? I like to go outside. I like to go to new restaurants. I like to get away from the computer. And I like to eat pizza with my friends, especially pizza with cheese in the crust, stuffed crust. It's really good. Do you have any unpopular opinions? I think that American style pizza is the best. I'm not a food snob. Aaliyah also asks, do you play video games? Yeah. I don't have a lot of time to play video games these days. I feel like I say that like every week, but I do like to play video games. The last video game that I played was Dark Souls, so I must really hate myself because that game was surprisingly difficult, but also very satisfying. I just have a hard time forcing myself to sit down and play it because it's so difficult. Aaliyah also asks, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you? I don't know if I told you guys the story, but once I was on a date and I was trying to focus on what this girl was saying, and I went to take a sip of my drink and I shoved the straw right up my nose. The worst part was when I put the glass back down, the straw stayed in my nose. It was like stuck right up in there. Another time, I was at a family dinner and my sister made me laugh really hard. And I laughed until I farted, which made me, I feel like I shouldn't be telling you guys this, which just made me laugh more, which just caused a horrible nuclear chain reaction of embarrassment. Diane SP asks, do you have anything to say to silent listeners? Yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys are the majority of the listeners. And I interact with the people that are here every day a lot. I appreciate, both groups of people. I am a YouTube silent listener myself. I've followed the same YouTube channels for like 5 to 10 years, and I don't think I've ever commented on them. So thank you. Diana's P also asks, I noticed you've removed one of your recent audios. Yes, I think YouTube thought that the title was really suggestive, even though to me it wasn't meant to be a suggestive title, so they didn't like it, so I took it down. Gloria B says, assumption, you low-key stalk your fans on YouTube or Twitter. I definitely don't stalk my fans. What do you think I am, Gloria? I have searched a few of them that I see on here. If I see you a lot, if I see you commenting regularly, I've probably checked out your profile. Sometimes I randomly click on one too, just to see if there's any videos that I can watch. But there's not a lot of people that actually have vlogs on here that I can watch. Question, I was wondering if you play guitar. Yes, I do play the guitar. I picked up the guitar pretty late in my life. I don't have it right now because when I was moving, there was a little girl, my neighbor, was actually looking for a guitar, so I sold it to her, even though I think it was too big. But she got a pretty good deal, so I hope she takes really good care of it, because I really love that guitar. It was sunburst, and like a sunburst yellow color, and it had a really cool strap. Clara asks, how did an ex or a current girlfriend react to the channel? What did she think about it? So I've had 2 partners that know about the channel, and one seems to think that it's cool. I don't know how much she listens to it, but if you're listening right now, hi. I'm kind of embarrassed. I had another partner that we were dating, so I thought that it was kind of important for me to let her know what I do. And she was actually pretty indifferent. Like, I think she thought it was cool, but she didn't really seem interested in it. She was really into food ASMR, and the videos that she liked, I just didn't watch. So we just kind of went our own way with our own ASMR hobbies. Asip says, assumption, you're left-handed and you've got dimples, and you're the type of person who will tell an embarrassing story just to make the other person feel better about theirs. I am actually right-handed. Sorry. I do have dimples, more so on my left cheek, and I will definitely tell an embarrassing story to make you feel better about your embarrassment. I don't want like the people around me to feel embarrassed. I want them to feel comfortable. Missy Blue asks for your most embarrassing moment from high school. My most embarrassing moment was probably taking an inappropriate picture, as teenagers do, and I had left it on my computer, and all of my friends came over and they were in my bedroom, and one of them went on my computer and he opened it up and he was like, what is this? And everybody saw it, and I was so embarrassed that I thought I will never have any more friends at high school. I just didn't want to see them. I was so embarrassed. Shaz says, assumption, you sound like you're very good with children. Yeah, I think I'm all right with them, and I think that it would be cool to have some children running around. I wouldn't mind having 2 kids, maybe sometime far in the future. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It would be fun to have a son, have a mini-me running around, but I think I would also really like to have a daughter, because then I could spoil her. Sophie asks, do you have a favorite kind of audio to make? Yeah, I think I said this before, but I like to make the sleepy, cuddly audios because I just feel extra relaxed when I make them, and they're just really fun to do. Joan asks, what is your top love language? My top love language is definitely touch. For me, touch is just really important. I like touch. Joan also asks, would you ever consider uploading your safe for work audios on a streaming platform such as Spotify or Apple Music? I tried Spotify. I looked into Spotify, but it actually seems more difficult than I thought it would be. I think I read that you need to go through a middleman, and I'm not really sure how other artists do it. So I haven't put anything up yet, but it is definitely something that I should look into more. Would you make a first I love you audio? So I'm not sure if this is the title of it. I'm assuming that these words, first I love you, are just kind of the inspiration for something that I can make. But I accept the challenge. I wrote it down, so I will definitely get started on that project. Joan also asks, how do you know that you're in love? I think this is such a good question, and I think that many people will have many different answers, but for me, I think that I know I'm in love with somebody when it hurts when I think about not being with them. Will you post a pic of your silver play button when you get it? If I get a silver play button, guys, I definitely will. But apparently some people don't get them. YouTube has complete power over who it wants to send a silver play button to. And people that do get them like 4 to 6 months later. So if they do decide to send me one, it's not going to be for a long time. Boyana asks, do you buy books or do you have a library card? I buy books, since I heard a few years ago that there have been some cases where bed bugs were in the library and they were hitching a ride on books into people's homes. And I'm so scared of bed bugs ever getting into my home that it makes my skin crawl. It freaked me out. So now I just buy books. How do you go about approaching women? There's a lot of stuff out there these days, like, red pill stuff, how you should game and go out there and approach women. But I usually just go up and introduce myself. There's no reason to force it, right? If she's into you, then she's into you. And if she's not into you, then it doesn't make sense to be fake and try and be somebody else and hope that she's into you. So I usually just talk to them. No big deal. I think a lot of guys make this mistake where they think they have to do something special, but we're not birds. Like, you don't need to do some fancy dance. You should just go up and be yourself, because there's no way that you can keep an act going for so long. How does someone get you to feel better when you've had a rough day? I usually just take care of myself. If I'm having a really bad day, I like to go to the gym. I like to listen to music. I'll listen to loud music. I'll dance in the kitchen. I'll whatever I need to do to make myself feel better, I'll do it. I'm definitely a solo self-care kind of person. But if somebody were to try making me feel better, I think that probably just giving me a big hug. Yeah, that would be nice. What is something that someone did that made you certain they cared deeply about you? I knew one girl that made me study. She always made sure that I did my work, and I thought that was really good. I thought that was really impressive. And later on, after we had parted ways, I realized that she had said something that indicated she had thought that we were going to get married in the future, and it broke my heart. I was so upset about this, because that's when I realized how much she had cared about me. And yeah, I guess she was the one that got away. And if you've ever had one of those, then you know what I'm talking about. It's an interesting experience, to say the least. How did Nutmeg react when you came back home? She was a crazy doofus. She cried and whimpered and rolled around, and she was just a big dork. It was really cute. What is your favorite scent on girls? All right, easy question, and it probably applies to guys. Like, you probably like this scent on guys too. I like it when girls smell like shampoo and freshly cleaned clothes. All right, the next question a lot of people asked, and I'm not sure if this was like some kind of conspiracy. Why did so many people ask about my friend Anthony? I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people asked, is Anthony, my friend, single? And I'm sorry, ladies or guys, he is not single. He has a girlfriend who buys him ice cream. And they're a really good-looking couple, and I think they're madly in love. So, sorry. Assumption, you do the nose scrunch thing when you put your glasses back into place. Yeah, sometimes I'll do it right now. And I also do I push my glasses up with my finger. It started ironically because I saw it in anime, and then I just ended up doing it. I don't know. Nabsa says, Assumption, you're a touchy person and you like hugs. I am a touchy person and I really do like hugs. I met someone a long time ago and she gave the best hugs in the world, and I thought, wow, these hugs just make everyone feel so good. I need to up my hug game. So yeah, I do like giving hugs. You got me. Assumption, you're a safe and a careful driver. I'm airing my dirty laundry here again, but that's like a 50-50. I try to stay calm and cool on the road, but I definitely do the Italian hand wave sometimes. No offense to any Italians out there. When I'm angry, I'll like shake my hand in the air at them. Next question. I don't know why anybody would be interested in this, but what color are your glasses? So I've had 3 pairs of glasses since I started the channel. My first ones were navy blue, just like the logo for the channel initially was. My second pair were black and tortoiseshell, and I love those ones so much. I wore them so much that they broke. And my third pair are gold wireframe glasses, which are kind of like that professorial look. I'm not a big fan of them. I kind of like the heavier frames, but those are my 3 pairs of glasses. Last question from Nabsa. If your dog could talk, what's a question you would ask her? I would ask her, is your smell really that good? Is it like vision? Can you smell everything? Can you smell colors? What do I smell like? And do you not like it when I play with your paws? Because I really like to play with your paws, but you always pull them away. So you should let me do that. Pame or Pame, I'm not sure, asks, what are insecurities that girls have that you find hot or attractive? I find a lot of insecurities, I wouldn't say hot, but I think that they're endearing because they show me that the other person is human with weaknesses and flaws, and I can appreciate that. I think when girls are worried that, you know, their hair doesn't look nice or their makeup doesn't look nice, I don't know why, but it's cute. Or if they're like trying to be sneaky, you know, they're like in a towel and they're like run to the bedroom or act shy. I feel like, come on, we're together. You don't have to be like that, but it's also really cute. Yeah, little insecurities in general are kind of cute because if I'm with somebody, I think that they're amazing, and all those little insecurities and flaws or whatever, they add to that person's personality. So I think that we should embrace our insecurities as long as they're not super unhealthy. Yeah. Lissa says, assumptions. You're a really chill person in real life. I don't know, you would have to ask my friends. You have a lot of patience and you don't get angry much. This is probably true. People have told me that I have a lot of patience before. So I'm gonna go with yes. And you are a flirt and you know your way with women. You are a low-key F-boy. Why would you say that? People have confessed in the past that they thought that about me when they first met me. But in actuality, I am a deeply loyal and hopeless romantic at heart. And yes, you asked if I was introverted. I am pretty introverted. If I don't know somebody, I have a hard time talking to them. Once they're in my group and I know them, then I'll open up really quickly. But until that first initial meeting is passed, I don't know. I find it really difficult to talk to people I don't know. Cookie Pie, great name, asks, would you feel jealous if your girlfriend had lots of pics of a male idol on her phone? Nah. I get that some of them are really attractive and some of the music's quite good. But I would have a concern that I'm not her type. Since, you know, I'm not like a Korean pop idol and I don't look like one. So it would be like if I was infatuated with J-pop girls and had all these pictures of Japanese idols on my phone and I was dating somebody who didn't look like a Japanese idol. I'm sure she would feel maybe like, is this what you're into? Are you attracted to me? So I wouldn't feel jealous about it, but I would feel like it's a bit odd for our relationship. What is the couple nickname that you like to be called? I don't think I've ever got a nickname from any partner before. One partner in the past liked to call me by my last name, but usually no nicknames. Okay, for the next assumption, you're one of the rare guys who has a cute laugh. Stop, I don't want to laugh on this audio now. Juliana M asks, how are you doing, honestly? Thank you. I am actually, honestly, I'm okay. The whole situation with coronavirus made me a bit sad, but I try really hard to stay in a positive mental state. Like, it's my number one priority right now, and I'm doing all right. And yes, one of your questions was, do my relatives know about my channel? And one of my relatives knows about it. I feel like you can't keep any secrets from a 20-something-year-old girl. They will always find a way to get it out of you. Sweetie T says, assumption, your students listen to your channel. I definitely don't think that they listen to the channel because they think that they're good at keeping secrets, but they're not good at keeping secrets. So I feel like I would know pretty quickly if they were watching it. Somebody would let me know. Yasmin D asks, have you ever thought of coming to the UK? Yes, I would love to go to the UK. In fact, I've always wanted to go there since I was a kid. I want to drive through the hills. I want to go to the little towns on the coast. They look really beautiful. And I want to go to a chippy and eat some fish and chips, UK style. Do you have a girlfriend yet? No, I got out of a relationship a few months ago. I am dating, but I'm at the stage where I'm not rushing into anything. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully still around on Earth if we haven't been hit by too many asteroids and pandemics. So much has happened this year, who knows what will happen in 5 years. I really want to visit Italy, and I want to buy Bluetooth headphones for my motorcycle helmet. I want to adopt a cat, and I'm seriously considering covering myself in tattoos when I don't have to worry about teaching anymore. We will see how that goes. Sarah K. Hi, Sarah. asks, what is your go-to order from IHOP? All right, Sarah, I've got a confession to make. I've only been to IHOP once, but I'm pretty sure that I ordered pancakes. Actually, I'm not sure. Waffles are really good too. I don't know what I would order. Probably pancakes. I love breakfast food and I should go to IHOP more. So if you have any recommendations of what I should order, let me know in the comments below. Sarah K also asks, what cologne do you wear? I usually wear Dior Sauvage. I tried some other colognes, but Dior Sauvage is my go-to. Do you let nutmeg sleep in bed with you? Of course. And is poutine as good as it looks in the pictures? Poutine is better, guys. Even bad poutine is really good. I love poutine. I devour poutine. I destroy it. And last question. What are your top 5 favorite 2000s bands? Damn, guys, there were so many good bands in the 2000s. So I'm going to answer this kind of like, what were the bands that I listened to a lot in the 2000s? And in order to do that, we're going to have to go on a little trip down my angsty scene days. Yes, I was one of those kids. Number 5 would be All Time Low. Dear Maria, Count Me In was such a good song. Number 4 would be Pierce the Veil. Yeah Boy and Dollface was a really good song. Number 3 would be Of Mice and Men. Number 4 would be Bring Me the Horizon, which is still a pretty good band. And number 5 would have to go to Asking Alexandria. The final episode was such a good song. Those bands are really heavy, guys. Or the last few were really heavy. So if you're not into that kind of music, I don't recommend them to you. There were also so many really good lighter bands that were out there, like Flyleaf, Paramore, We Came as Romans, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, Fall Out Boy, Green Day, Blink-182, Sum 41, Escape the Fate, Falling in Reverse. There's so many. I don't really listen to so much metal anymore, but it definitely has a place in my playlists. What are your thoughts on piercings? I like piercings. In college, I woke up after a crazy night and I had an industrial in my ear, which I actually thought was really cool. Yeah, I really like piercings. In high school, I used to love snake bites, and eyebrow piercings were cool, lip piercings were cool. I still think that nose piercings look good, but the nose septum piercing is not something that I'm really into right now. Maybe it can look good on some people, but I'm not a huge fan. It would look horrible on me. Kawaii Catcher asks if I know about an account called ASMR Yandere Daddy who is stealing my audios. I do. I sure do. I didn't want to make a copyright claim because copyright claims are a legal process. And if I start one, then he gets all of my personal details. So you can probably understand why I don't really want to do that. But don't worry, I'm not worried about it, because if he's already stealing people's content, then I don't think he has the passion to stay dedicated to a long-term YouTube channel. And people all over are already calling him out, so I'm not so worried about it. It'll work out. Tan asks if there are any books that I've read recently that I would recommend. Probably the Wheel of Time series. And if you had to pick one food to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? I would choose chicken wings and Caesar salad. And I feel like my answer changes every time somebody asks me this. Idolus asks, what song would you dedicate to your supporters? I would dedicate Him and I by G-Eazy and Halsey. The music video is so good for that song. I've also had a huge crush on Halsey. her and Avril Lavigne. Idolus also asks, how do you feel about reaching 100k subs? If you couldn't tell, I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited. I didn't really think that we would ever get there, or I thought that it would take so long, it'd be so far in the future. Do you have any bad or disrespectful student stories? Yes, I had to teach a classroom of young teens for a year, and the boys are right at that stage where they want to challenge every single authority. One kid always kept making jokes and saying disrespectful stuff. He even made a joke that he wanted to try fighting me one day. And I was so surprised. I was like, these kids are crazy. What's going on? So once in the hallway, he said something so disrespectful that finally I called him over and I told him we need to have a talk right now. And this poor boy was sweating and he was breathing so heavy. I could see his chest going up and down. And I felt really bad for him. So we had to have a meeting with his parents, and he was crying so hard. He was so full of testosterone and hormones at that age that I don't think he had any idea that this was just not the right place or the right person for his behavior. So that was definitely the most difficult student that I've had to teach. Victoria says, when I listen to you, I think of Prince Zuko. I dig it. Long live the exiled prince. Aesthetically says, by the way, I love the word aesthetically. Aesthetically says, Assumption, you cannot drive a manual car. Ah, that is wrong. I learned and I tested on a manual car. I can't believe you would say that. Aesthetically. God. Viola says, question. When you were younger, did you know you wanted to be a teacher? No, I wanted to be a fireman. I decided to become a teacher when I was bored with my job and I wanted something more meaningful. I wanted to help people, and I felt like becoming a teacher was probably the quickest way and the best way to do that. Assumption, you are probably the guy who would awkwardly smile at me because I did something stupid and you want me to be embarrassed. Yeah, maybe. but in a nice way. I saw that kind of way, but it was cute. Zeta says, I've been listening to a song, Drugs and Money, by Chase Atlantic a lot recently. Is this song K approved? Yeah, I love that song. Nobody Knows You asks, how would you react if a student told you that she knows about this channel? As much as this would probably disappoint you guys, I would probably close the channel down, to be honest. We've had people as young as 11 years old that I know of on the channel, so I wouldn't really want them having access to stuff that they probably shouldn't be watching. And also, have you contacted Yandere Daddy? Nah, I'm not interested in contacting him. I just report him and we'll see where it goes. Angel K asks, how will you celebrate the 100k milestone? I keep the channel pretty low key, so I'm not like shouting it from the rooftops. But I did go out and I had a Manhattan and I had a hamburger and yam fries, and it was really good. Actually, it wasn't really good. It was only okay. It was really expensive, but it was only okay. Natalia L says, Assumption, you really like to cook. Yes, I do really like to cook. But when I'm cooking for myself, I'm pretty lazy. I usually just cook chicken or fried chicken. And my friend came over and he opened my fridge and he saw that it was like 5 packs of chicken and like 3 bottles of hot sauce. And he was definitely judging me. His eyes, the look he gave me was definitely judging. Josie P says, technically speaking, there is no reason why a grapefruit should be named after a grape. What is your opinion on the origin of grapefruit? I have thought about this so much before, so it surprises me that I never looked this up. It should really be called baseball fruit, pink baseball fruit. Apparently it's called grapefruit because it grows in clusters like grapes, which is a totally lame reason to name it that. We should name it after you, Josie Fruit, because then it sounds like juicy fruit, which is way better. Love for You asks, would you ever consider posting your Patreon stuff on YouTube as incentive? That's a big no for me. It would definitely get the channel flagged, demonetized, and a lot of people would listen to it that probably shouldn't be listening to it. Also, Love for You had so many kind things to say, so thank you so much. Kelsey Lee says, Assumption, you're a Cancer man who doesn't usually show emotions in front of others, but deep down you are pretty sensitive and emotional. Kelsey, hey, I can't comment on the zodiac stuff. It is a secret. Kelsey also says you love singing and dancing in the shower. I will sing in the shower and I will dance in the kitchen. And last assumption, you're the popular teacher who gets thirsted over by a bunch of girls at school. I'm going to plead the fifth on this one. I don't know. You're going to have to ask them. Questions. What were some of your favorite books to read in the early 20s? Game of Thrones and the Sword of Truth series. I received the Game of Thrones books, the first one, as a gift years ago and years before it became popular. The book is really good. It's just pretty intricate, following all of the plot lines at the same time. What are some of your favorite poems to read? My favorite poems would be When We Two Parted by Byron, Evening Star by Edgar Allan Poe, and Ode to the West Wind by Shelley. How would you react if a subscriber bumped into you in real life and claimed they recognized you by your voice and the way that you talk? I know I've answered this one before, guys, but I would definitely play coy. I would just deny it. Probably laugh. Would you date someone 10 years younger or older than you? Yeah, I would. I don't think that age, race, or gender are very important. Love is so hard to find that if you can find it, if you're happy with somebody, then you should just be with them. Thank you for all the support, Kelsey. Asip asks, toilet paper, over or under? Over, always. Pineapple pizza. Wait, pineapple on pizza. Yes or nah? Yes, but not always. And last, this is a really good question. What mythical creature do you think would improve the world most if it existed? Probably centaurs. I feel like centaurs are pretty smart and they would protect nature. And we need more of that right now. We'd also have to make cities more horse friendly, so we wouldn't be driving big cars as much. You could just hop on your friend's back. That would be so cool. And who wouldn't want a centaur friend? I know I would. I just wonder if they would wear clothes. Like, how would that work? I don't really want to think about that too much, but yeah, I'm gonna go with centaurs. Lord Farquaad, hey Lord Farquaad, asks, how are you with spicy food? I love spicy food. Do you like roller coasters and heights? I am notoriously bad with heights. I like my feet on the ground, but if we're going to a roller coaster, I will not say anything. I will brave it and I will ride the roller coaster. Assumption, you majored in business in undergrad. No, I didn't. I'm not a business person. I'm not cool enough to be a business person, guys. I did a dual major and neither of them was in business. Chloe Spencer asks, would you ever consider branching out into other YouTube content types, like gaming or podcast type stuff? Also, what's your favorite video game? I have been thinking about doing a podcast lately, but I would need to find somebody else to do it with. but it has been on my mind. My favorite video games of all time, I would probably, I think it's a tie between Overwatch and Diablo 2. But I've been playing Overwatch for years and it always makes me happy. That's a good question. Kate asks, have you listened to any girlfriend audios and find yourself having a crush on one or a few of them? Definitely, but I can't tell you who it is because then they'll know if they listen to this. Kate also makes an assumption. You take your time before deciding to be committed to somebody. Yeah, I do. I think when I was younger, I used to rush into relationships because relationships just seemed cool. They were like the thing that you should be in, and nobody wants to be alone. So, or not so many people want to be alone. But these days, I would rather take my time, be patient, get it right. Stardust, thank you so much, Stardust, for all of the amazing comments. Stardust asks, what's something from your childhood you remember happening, but you can barely paint a picture of the whole event? I ate a beetle once because I was told not to eat the beetle. So naturally I had to eat it because I was just that kind of kid. I also got drunk on Christmas brandy chocolates once. I was like, oh, what are these chocolates? And I just kept eating them. And apparently that was too much for my little kid body. What advice would you give to someone starting a YouTube ASMR channel? First, find a niche that isn't super oversaturated. But more importantly, I think that you need to choose a project to do because it excites you and you love it and you can see yourself doing it even if you're not going to make $1 off of it or find any success. You need to enjoy it. Yeah, that's my answer. Are you easily embarrassed? No, I'm not really. I used to be easily embarrassed, but not anymore. What's your favorite bird? Probably a blue jay. Narayani says, I don't know what to say. You were the only reason why my broken heart recovered. Narayani. No. Your heart healed because of you. That's what hearts do with time. I think you did it. You should be proud of that. Maybe I just helped a little bit along the way. But I'm glad that you're feeling better. Drea asks, what gives you the most nostalgic feeling? And I'm going to give you guys a really Canadian answer right now. Christmas trees. Christmas trees make me feel super nostalgic for home. Walking through the forest on a cold day. Mashed potatoes. I don't know why mashed potatoes make me feel so at home. Kokanee beer and plaid shirts all make me think of home. Waifu says, if you were an anime character, what would your power be? I overthought this question, definitely. So I would probably choose Ban from the 7 Deadly Sins. On one hand, it's really badass. He is immortal, basically. He can steal stuff from people, he's super fast, he's super strong, and he's super cool. On the other hand, he's also got really good character traits. Like, he gets stabbed, he gets locked up, he gets beaten up, and he never stops moving forward, which is a really good thing to embody. And he also has a really good tragic love story with Elaine. So yeah, Ban is really cool. I would choose Ban. Emma Walden asks, who is one stranger that you remember? 2 strangers stick in my head. One of them was a guy who he couldn't walk properly. I think he had muscular dystrophy is what it's called, I think. But he still showed up to the university gym every day. And I was quietly rooting for him every day. I was so proud of him, even though I didn't know him. And the second person I remember is, I think I talked about her before, a girl who was finishing a book on the bus. And after she read the last page, she just closed the book and she looked out the window and she started to cry. And I could totally feel what she was going through when you finish a really good, sad book. And I was like, wow, this is such a mood right now. So I remember those two people really well. Total strangers. Next question. Lori asks, does race matter to you? And would you date a black woman? Okay, I'm glad that you asked this because I think a lot of people need to hear this. There's only one race, human. Of course I would date a black woman. I've dated a black woman before. I don't think that matters at all. I think that we need like an alien invasion or something so people can stop hating on each other and stop looking at our differences and realize how similar we are. And we can get our priorities straight. So, of course, you don't even have to ask, but I'm glad you did. Isabella asks, have you ever recorded an audio and realized that you weren't recording? Yes, many, many times. This microphone also it has a mute button. So many times I had the mute button on and I was recording and I couldn't hear anything. More often than not, I've got my headphones in and I forgot to turn off the fan or the air conditioner or something like that. Hey Alexis asks, do you have any advice for feeling like you're not enough? Alexis, I'm sorry that you're going through this feeling, that you're going through this right now. You should know that you are enough. You are. Really. I think you should make a habit of telling yourself that you're beautiful and you deserve love. I want you to say it in your head. I want you to say it out loud. I want you to write it on a sticky note. Put it on your mirror. Put it on your desk. You are. So please don't forget it. I hope you feel better. All right. Sweet Tea says, if someone walks up to your lemonade stand and says to you, hey, do you got any grapes? What do you say? No, but that's a grape idea. That's what I would say. It's pretty good. All right, guys, that's going to be it for now. There were so many questions and my throat is actually starting to hurt from talking so much. I did read through them. I'm still reading through them all. Thank you so much for all of the support. Even if I didn't get to your question on this audio, I am definitely reading it and thinking about it. I appreciate all of you and putting yourself out there. Don't forget to take care of yourselves out there. Love y'all. Good night.